What's up, everybody? Justin here to do a new series of videos. What is this series? It's called The List. Could be The List of Justin, or it could just be called The List. I'll just call it The List. So here we go. The first episode of The List. There could be many, many more throughout the year. The list means, what does it mean? It means topics. Me talking about different topics. Could be from wrestling to news in wrestling to people getting released to firings to new stars getting hired, stuff like that. Could be about anything, really. It's just a list of topics that I want to talk about, and I have some written down here. For The List episode 1, I will be talking about WWE's new show, Bring It to the Table, that was on the network Monday night, and give you my thoughts on that. I'll be talking about Paige was supposedly backstage at this week's Raw meeting with WWE officials, and I will be talking about in this episode 1 of The List. I also will be talking about my thoughts on Peyton, Royce, and Billie Kay, because I have a theory and I have some thoughts about them. So, here we go. First, I'm going to talk about Bring It to the Table, the new WWE Network show. Kind of struggling with my voice because my throat is really sore, but that's okay. So if I stop talking sometimes for like 3 seconds, it's because I have a really sore throat right now. So here we go. Bring It to the Table. Debuted on the network. It's like a ESPN style show. It's like Pardon the Interruption, PTI, or First Take. Shows like that. So the host was Peyton Rosenberg, DJ from New York, Hot 97. The guy's a big wrestling fan, so that's a good thing. I'd rather have a big wrestling fan host it than somebody that's not a fan. So it was Peyton Rosenberg, JBL, and Paul Heyman around the table talking about WWE type news and topics. They brought up Sasha's and Charlotte's back and forth with the women's title. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Paul Heyman and JBL didn't really think it was a bad thing. Of course, they work for WWE. The show was real talk, but it was also mixed with not bashing the company. Why would they bash WWE? Why on earth would they do that? They're not going to bash their own company on their own network. That'd be stupid as hell. For Vince to just bring in people to be on Bringing It to the Table, he's not going to have people on that just bash the company and hate it. I mean, and I agreed with a lot of stuff Paul Heyman and JBL said. I agree with a lot of it. Especially when they talked about the fans bitching and moaning, because that's all the fans like to do nowadays on the internet. I mean, I don't do that crap. I don't bitch and moan on my videos, and I don't bitch and moan on Twitter or Facebook or any other social media. If I don't like something that WWE's done, I just don't really care enough to get that angry. I just don't really care enough anymore. I mean, I like the stuff that I like. I like a lot of the talent. WWE has a stacked roster right now, and probably the best roster of all time that they've ever had, in my opinion. They got the most talent under contract than they ever have had before. And, yeah. So they got the greatest talent roster, in my opinion, with NXT, SmackDown, Raw. They got some of the best talent they've ever had under contract. So that's a thing I really like. So bring it to the table. It was real talk, but still Paul Heyman was kind of in character. I mean, I thought he was in character. Again, bring it to the table. Future episodes are not going to bash the WWE. Why would they do that? They're not going to bash their own company on their own network. That'd be really stupid. So I'm looking forward to future episodes and bring it to the table. But mostly I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I laughed a couple times when Paul Heyman told fans that's what fans do. They bitch and moan. I thought that was fun. So I enjoyed bringing it to the table. Next topic on the list is Paige. Backstage, Paige showed up. I guess she was told to come to the arena. Paige had a meeting with WWE officials. Could have been Mark Cronin. I think that's the guy's name. He's always on Total Divas. Could have been Triple H there. Stephanie could have even been in the meeting with Paige. Hell, maybe Vince was, but I doubt it. Because Vince doesn't really handle the women that Mark Cronin, he does. Or Mark Carrano. I think his name's Mark Carrano. Not Cronin. Mark Carrano. He handles the women, I believe. I don't know his title of his job title, but he basically handles the women backstage. And talks to them and meets with them and will help them out if they need help. Anyways. So Paige had a meeting backstage with WWE officials. The show's in Florida. She used to live in Florida. But she doesn't anymore. She lives in San Antonio, Texas with Del Rio. So Del Rio actually showed up with Paige. I saw a picture of Del Rio with Paige back outside the arena. I don't know if Del Rio was let in the arena because he doesn't work there anymore. Maybe they didn't want him backstage, but they probably let him backstage. Again, on the Paige Del Rio relationship, I don't think it's going to work out. I don't think they'll be together in 2 years. I doubt it. If they are, good for them. Anyways, yeah, Paige had a backstage meeting. I don't know what was said. I don't know what was worked out, if anything was. They were just meeting with her to discuss her neck injury and how she's healing. And if she's getting healthy and how does she feel. So that's what basically the meeting was about, to ask Paige to find out how she's healing and how she feels. I hope she's close to 80% by now. I think she had surgery in November or October, something around there, in 2016. So I hope Paige is at least 80%. When she can get to be 100%, hopefully the WWE will let her return. And hopefully Paige will be able to return in April. Probably after WrestleMania. I don't see Paige returning to TV before WrestleMania. I don't see that happening. I wish Paige the best. I hope she's 80%, close to returning to the ring, close to being cleared by the WWE doctors. If she can't get cleared ever by WWE, that is not good. If she can't get cleared, and they tell her neck is still messed up or something like that, if she can't be cleared, I could see Paige really being quite frustrated and angry and asking for her release. I don't want to see her released. That wouldn't be good for her or the WWE Women's Division because they need Paige. Have I missed Paige off TV? A little bit, but not really, to be honest. Not really. So, Paige met with WWE officials. I hope her neck's healing. And that's all I got to say about that. Now on to Peyton, Royce, and Billie Kay. They've been in NXT for over a year and a half, probably over 2 years. And why am I talking about them has nothing to do with them going to the main roster. I'm talking about Peyton, Royce, and Billie Kay because every time I see them together in the ring, after matches, they're always holding hands. They're always looking at each other funny, like they're in love with each other. And I don't know if they are. I have no clue if they're gay. I have no clue if they're lesbians. But if they are, that's awesome. Because they look very happy together. Maybe they're just best friends. But how they hold hands, how they look at each other, it always gets me thinking, are they in a relationship? Because that's what I feel when I see them together. Even out of the ring. They put out a tweet, they put out a post on Instagram. Billie Kay, I think Billie Kay did it, a post on her Instagram, where her and Peyton Royce were together on New Year's Eve. They were together next to each other in a picture, and they kind of looked like a couple to me. I don't know if they're gay. And if they are, great for them. I could care less if they are. I don't discriminate at all against gays. I support gays, and I definitely support gay marriage. So if they are a couple, great for them. That's fantastic, in my opinion. They look very happy together, but maybe they're just great friends. I don't really have any clue. I don't have any inside information. I'm just guessing. Because how they hold hands, how they look at each other, to me they look like they're a couple. But maybe they're not. If they're not, and they ever see this video, I really apologize for thinking you guys were lesbians. Maybe it's just my mind, my brain is a guy. Maybe I want to see them be a couple. I don't know. That's just how I feel. So if they are a couple, I hope they're very happy. And they look very happy together if they are. If they're just best friends, that's great. So there is my first episode of The List. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back later with another episode of The List. Might be later on tonight. Or you'll have to see it. The next episode of The List will be uploaded probably after my TNA Impact on Pop review. Bye for now, everybody. Hope you enjoyed The List. Follow me on Twitter at WWE NXT Guy.